Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your home for the Oakland A's every weekend.
And it's swung on line to left center, base hit, and the A's have won it on a walk-off line drive, base hit to left center.
Sactown Sports. Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Happy Friday wherever you are. We know where Kyle Draper is. He's in San Antonio, getting ready for the Kings and the Spurs tonight. Hello, Kyle.
In-season tournament night as well, and I'm looking at the Spurs court right now. Not bad. I saw their pregame introduction video that they're going to do. It gets me pretty hyped, fellas. I'm telling you, and Simone, because I know Simone's back there listening too. Mm-hmm. So, no, I'm excited for tonight's game.
Yeah, I think the Spurs, whatever they got, as far as a little extra juice, they're going to bring it tonight because they've lost 6 in a row, and Pop got into them a little bit after their last loss, and he hadn't been doing that over the last few years because they've been so young. But I think the Kings are going to face at least early on, a very feisty bunch of Spurs tonight.
Yeah, and I don't know what's gotten into the Spurs. Like you said, they've lost 6 in a row. They had 2 great wins over Phoenix. Wembanyama going for 38 in that second win against the Phoenix Suns. And I'm excited to see the unicorn himself, Wembanyama, up close and personal. And how are the Kings going to deal with him? But you're right, man. This Spurs team, they're better than their record indicates, especially a Greg Popovich team. Usually they put up a fight. We'll see what happens out here tonight.
You know, Drapes, one of the things I've been thinking about last couple of days with the Kings, especially after the game against the Lakers, Domas Sabonis is playing so well, and he was excellent last year, as we know. He was excellent. I figured, to be honest, I thought that's about as good as he's going to get. We've seen him have all-star years before. That's about as good as he can play. He's probably not going to put up better numbers this year, but he's rock solid. Now I'm wondering if there may be – and we had Jerry in for you yesterday, and Jerry said, no, he's probably going to finish right about where he finishes. He's at consistent. But I'm wondering if there isn't like another level of Sabonis that we're getting a glimpse of early this season.
I think, when you look at the numbers, maybe not so, because I'm looking at the totality, the averages. And we're talking about 19 and 12 and 7 last season. That's where he's at right now. But I do think over the last 4 games during this winning streak, you're seeing a more impactful Domantas Sabonis, a more physical, a more aggressive Domantas Sabonis. Now, here's the thing. Can he keep this up all season long? You still got 72 games left to go. If he does that, then those 19, 12, and 7 numbers, they're going to go up because he's been balling out over his last 4 games. And so think about it. In the first half against the Lakers, he had 19 points and 12 rebounds. And this is against Anthony Davis. And he just abused AD, dominated him out there. But that's the mindset he should come out with night in and night out. And so if he does that, those numbers, I think, are going to go up.
Now, what advice would you have for Domas? You were not a large pivot player, if I remember correctly. You played a lot of post, and you gave up some size typically, if what I remember that you said is accurate there. So what advice do you have for Domas tonight?
First of all, let me just say, my game was more, remember Anthony Mason?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said is accurate, right? I didn't mean it as,
It felt like a slight, though. It felt like a little.
It
felt like a little. I see how we starting to show off, Whitey.
That's exactly what I wanted to avoid. You were a smaller post player who.
No, but
right.
That was out of necessity. Okay, my game was actually a perimeter game.
Okay.
But the coach at the time, he put me because we didn't have much size, and so I felt out of position out there, dude. As you can tell, you're bringing up some old trauma right now when it comes to Drape's basketball game. Who knows? I could have been a great guard or something.
Right.
But no, he wanted to play me at the 4. I digress. Let's get back to your question at hand. Advice I would give the Kings going up against a guy like Victor Wembanyama. I had a chance to talk, obviously, to Jordy Fernandez, and we'll have that conversation coming up in a little bit. But the game plan is to get into his body, make him feel you on both ends, be physical. And that's one thing we've seen Domantas Sabonis do recently, whether it's been Jared Allen or Evan Mobley or it's been Chet Holmgren. the physicality, the strength of Domantas Sabonis, these taller guys, they have not been able to deal with. Now, Wemby obviously is a different category just because of his length. He can block shots, but look for Domas, if he's matched up with Wemby, to do some damage on the inside.
Listen, I can relate to playing out of position in high school. I had to play forward a little bit, and I had none chance. It was like, that wasn't happening. Right. So I understand what you're saying.
Get it.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Right. As far as Wemby goes, if I'm the Kings, every time he takes a three, I am sending him a thank you card, an embossed thank you card. Now, maybe they start going in at some point, but he's terrible so far this year from three-point range, and he's not shy about cranking him up there. I think he's at about 5.5 a game. So the Kings, I think the way Wemby's been shooting, they would love to see him teeing up that three ball tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And, he was 0 for 3 his last game, 2 for 9 that game before. And so, and when you look at it, and if I'm Greg Popovich, this is one of the things I get on him about. His last 2 games, Whitey, he did not take a single free throw.
Wow.
0 trips to the foul line. How are you 7-4 and not at least getting to the line a couple of times, And so I think he's fallen in love with that perimeter shot, maybe a little too much finesse game. And so I'm with you. If I'm the Kings, you try to push him out, go ahead, take all the open, outside shots you want. I don't want you getting anywhere in that painted area, because then he's going to be difficult to stop.
You never know how these things are going to go. I would expect, Kyle, that this could be a very fun game, because I know the Spurs, they like to play at pace. I think they're 4th in pace. I'm not sure why, because they don't really accomplish that much, but they like to get up and down the floor. We know the Kings do. So this could be a really fun game tonight.
Yeah, it should be fun. And, when you look at this Spurs team, they're without really a true point guard. They got Jeremy Sohan playing point guard, and obviously he's a nice young player, but they don't have anybody that can really orchestrate the offense. And when you look at, the Spurs offense, they're 29th in offensive rating, and one thing they do, they also turn the ball over as well. They're 28th in the NBA in turnovers. And so, like, to your point, I don't know why they want to, play with pace and you can't take care of the ball. You're not scoring off of it. But I think that's an identity that Greg Popovich is trying to create with this team. They got a couple of scorers, though. I do believe Devin Vassell is going to be out tonight. He's going to be out tonight. But they do have some scorers. We saw Champagny, obviously, during the California Classic. He put up big numbers. Keldon Johnson is coming back tonight. He's a guy that averaged, close to 22 points last season. And so they got a couple of players, but you're right. If I'm the Kings, if you want to play a track meet, that's our game. Let's do it.
Yeah. Here's what Pop said to us about his team. I don't know what he said to his team. Here's what he said about his team after their 6th straight loss. He said, I realized, remember, this is Pop. In the last few years, he's been kind of mellow, right? He's like, okay, we're a young team. But now he's realizing, all right, this team is good enough to do something. Quote, I realize it's a young team, but 2 things have to happen. At some point, you have to get tired of getting your bleep kicked. And second, you have to understand it's a 48-minute game. We played 22 good minutes in the first half. The last 2 minutes of the first half, we turned it over 3 times and executed nothing. So he's calling out his team. So again, I know I made the point already. Be very interested to see with what kind of intensity the Spurs come out tonight.
And when you look at, what they've accomplished over this 6-game losing streak or what they haven't accomplished, they've been in some of the games, but they've also gotten their butts kicked in some of these games as well. I mean, losing 152-111 to Indiana a week ago, and then also that game the other night against Oklahoma City, where pretty much right from opening tip, they got their doors blown off of. I think that's what frustrates Greg Popovich, the lack of a fight out there from his guys. And so we'll see if they get the message tonight. If I'm Sacramento, I'm not looking at the record. I'm not looking at, having lost 6 in a row. As we know, the Kings have had some embarrassing moments on the road so far this season. And we'll see if they, come in with a mindset of, we're going to try and take care of business quickly and then get on the road.
Yeah, it's a Drive Guys here. Whitey in Sacramento, Kyle Draper in San Antonio, getting ready for the call on NBC Sports California, the Spurs and the Kings. And, it's been, as we've talked a lot already about, it's been a real roller coaster. After each Kings game, we've had some questions, good questions, scary questions. After the first game, can Harrison Barnes keep that up? And then on the losing streak, what's wrong with the team? Where are we right now? What do you think the big questions about the team are right now? One of them, of course, is what's up with Davion Mitchell. I think another one, Kyle, is has this team turned a corner defensively?
Yeah, and when you look at it, the numbers indicate that they have, right? They're 13th in the league in defensive rating. And it's, you wonder, through 10 games. Think about it. I know it's a small sample size, 10 games, but to me, I would be encouraged about this defense, especially over the last 4 games. You're seeing a better physicality out there. You're seeing a better presence out there. I still think they need to do a better job defending the 3-point line. But, if I'm a Kings fan, I don't want to say this is a fluke, because even before this 4-game winning streak, Whitey, as you know, they were playing pretty solid defense. They were right there in the middle of the pack. It was the offense that was struggling. So here we are 10 games in, you're 13th in the NBA in defensive rating, and it's like, man, maybe this is real. We're not asking them to be top 5, but, man, if they can keep this up, that's one of the things Jordy talked about is, trying to be better on both ends of the floor. We know about the scoring. They were never worried about the offense and the scoring. It's having that purpose defensively, and so far, so good, I think.
I didn't think they would show this much progress this early, and it's still a long ways to go, but it's stunning how much better they've been defensively, in my opinion, to this point.
No, 100%. And you look at what they were able to do against the Lakers the other night. Sure, the Lakers shot 50%. But anytime you hold a team in 2 quarters, 25 points in the first quarter, 21 points in the third quarter, that's the recipe for success. And today's NBA, Whitey, you're not going to hold anybody down for a full 48 minutes. The offenses are just too good. The players are too good. But we saw the other night against the Lakers 2 really exceptional quarters of defense. And so that's encouraging. And I would imagine, when you look at tonight's matchup with the Spurs, I talked about how, their offense is 29th, I believe, in the NBA in offensive rating. This should be a master class in defense tonight for the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, and the thing that really stands out to me about that Laker-Kings game, the Kings bullied them. They bullied the Lakers. They pushed them around all game long. All right, I know we have coming up here, going to take a real quick break. On the other side, I know you talked to Jordy Fernandez today. Yeah. We have that for you. What can you tell us? A little preview of your conversation with Jordy.
No, it was a long conversation, and I'll tell you, his admiration for Mike Brown and his love for Mike Brown, it is just like everything that you're seeing with this Kings team. Jordy says he gives credit to Mike Brown. Obviously, the players, of course, as well. But I tried to give him some love, and, he redirected it to Mike Brown. And so I think that's a special relationship. You'll hear more about that, obviously, coming up here in a few minutes.
Yeah, looking forward to it. So Drapes one-on-one with Jordy Fernandez. When we come right back, it's the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the 3. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief. The best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Kings and the Spurs tonight. That's why Kyle Draper is in San Antonio. Earlier today, he spoke with Kings assistant coach Jordy Fernandez. And we'd like to share that with you now on Sactown Sports.
All right, Coach, thanks for joining us. First of all, I know you got a big game tonight coming up against Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. We'll talk about Wemby coming up in just a minute, but your squad riding a 4-game winning streak. What's been the biggest difference here over the last week or so? What are you seeing?
I think it's been a combination of facing adversity and figuring out, right? I think we got better. Obviously, we played harder. Those 2 losses at Houston were a good wake-up call for us. I know we were missing Fox. We competed well at Golden State, but we found a way to win 2 games without Fox. Now with him being back, obviously we're a much better team. So that's a result of adversity, not just from the injury, but also not playing at the level that we were supposed to. And then finally we did without and now with him.
Yeah, he's back looking great as well. It seems like shots are starting to fall too. Was there ever any concern early on about some of the shooting percentages?
No, because we know who we are. We know how we play. Obviously, you always want to be better and want to figure it out. One thing you can control is the quality of the shots that you're taking. Sometimes shots are not going to go in. That probably you cannot control it, but we believe in our guys. We ask them to keep moving, keep playing for each other, keep passing the ball when they're open to shoot it. So I think that's the reason why we were successful last year. And we are, and the numbers will say that we're a really good offensive team as well this year.
A really good defensive team as well. I think you guys are 13th in defensive rating. Where has that improvement come from? What are you saying defensively from the squad?
I think our physicality, it's been much better. We're being a lot more engaged on the defensive end, starting with De'Aaron and everybody else. But I think that was a point of emphasis in training camp. We did a good job in the playoffs, but when we get to that point and we advance, we're going to need to play that way from the beginning in the regular season. You cannot navigate the regular season and be very good offensively and poor defensively and then show up in the playoffs and then try. So that's pretty much what happened last year. Unexperienced team. You don't know better, but now we know better. And we know that when you play those type of games and series at 7 games, that's extremely important.
Let's talk about some individual defense. Keegan's getting a lot of love lately about his two-way game. We know about his offense. Are you surprised that he's been this good defensively?
No, because one thing about Keegan is he doesn't say much, but you know he's not afraid, and you know he'll figure it out, and he puts it on himself. And I think that type of mentality tells you like how good of a player he is. Like you said, a two-way player right now. He's been pretty good at guarding 2 through 4, which is pretty impressive, and guarding very, very good players. So we like the fact that we can use his length for certain players, catch and shoot players, some pick and roll players. He's rebounding very well. He's being very physical in the one-on-one, getting into bodies. So it's just great to see his growth at this point.
You know, in the California Classic, I think we saw a glimpse of it. You guys had him guarding ones out there and everything. Where did that vision come from? Did you guys always envision that he could become that? Especially, we've seen him guarding Steph, Donovan Mitchell. Where did that vision come from for him to be that way defensively?
I think it comes from our leader, Mike Brown. Obviously if not the best in my opinion, the best, but one of the best defensive coaches in this league. And he's seen a lot. He's experienced 30 years of experience. He's seen a lot more than any of us. We have a young coaching staff, so it's just good to see how much he demands from all these guys. And sometimes it's like, yeah, this guy reminds me of these other,
right.
His experience is a big part of making decisions. And I think that he's always had high standards for Keegan. And obviously we help him with, put the plan together and executing it, but starts with Mike Brown. And I think Keegan, he's responding very well.
You bring up Mike Brown. We talk about it. You obviously go way back with Coach. He picked up his 400th win earlier this week. What did that mean, for you to be a part of his staff to help him get to that point?
It means a lot to me because it's hard to accomplish something like that in the NBA. I'm happy to be, to work for him, to be his friend. And like you said, this is year 15 since he brought me here from Spain. So it's a full circle. We've been back together now for 2 years, and he's a person that if I could, I would work for him for the rest of my life.
Really, that's impressive. Mike's told this story, the history between you two guys. Can you refresh our memory? You guys met each other in Vegas. Is that where it started?
Yeah, I was working out at Impact Basketball, workout facility that is owned by Joe Buenassar, one of the best player development coaches that work with NBA players, college players, any type of basketball player. And I was there working for Joe, learning a lot early in my early 20s, flying from Spain to Vegas, working the summers, working all year round, finding my own way. I didn't know anybody here, got connected with him. And Mike Brown was there. He was coach of the year that year. And his son Elijah was working out. He was 14 at the time. So, Joe asked me, hey, can you work out with Elijah? And, now Elijah is 28. He's,
right.
The father of a beautiful
family
kid.
And everything. Yeah.
Father of a beautiful kid. So Elijah's like my, my little brother. And, started working with him, got a job, entry position job with the Cavs, 2009-10. And that's how everything started, right? Like he gave me an opportunity, started from, like I said, an entry position, worked out with Elijah and younger players there, but also with the NBA team at a different time. And, started like, a lot of people start from the bottom and try to find your way, being a foreigner and all those challenges in life. But unbelievable journey. And he's definitely a person that has changed my life.
Right. It's interesting because we talk so much about defense with the Kings, and you're a defensive minded coach, Mike Brown. But we know last year the numbers, were more slanted heavily in the offense. How much did that bother you guys? Like the offense was flowing, but if you wanted to be a championship contender, you had to get those defensive numbers up.
Yeah, I think you have to believe in the process. And a lot of times you're going to tell the players how is it going to be in the playoffs. And you don't know until you know. And I've been there. I was fortunate in Cleveland, then in Denver, to be part of a lot of winning teams. And one thing we did consistently was we worked at it, and the guys worked hard. Obviously, the numbers didn't always reflect how good we could be defensively. I think on the road, the numbers were good. Second half, fourth quarter, the numbers were good. Rebounding and transition defense, the numbers were good. But then in other parts of the game, like pick and roll, defending the 3-point line, we were atrocious. And, at the end of the day, I think you pay for it. Then we go into the playoffs, and we tried so hard, small sample size. We were much better, and almost the script flipped, right? Like we couldn't make a shot, but then we defended very well. That's the nature of the playoffs. The game slows down, and we matched that physicality. So the good thing is we gave ourselves a chance against a very good team. Right now, we know that what we need to do is to be used to defending at that level while playing offense. And when we get to the playoffs, it's not mentally and physically that hard to go through it. So right now, I think, the guys are doing a great job. I think that we just need that improvement from last year defensively. Offensively, we also want to improve, right? But we set the standard really high, and I think we can get there. The last few games we've played faster, and we've obviously made more shots. But the quality of the shots were there. So everything is coming together. I think facing adversity is very, very important for your success at the end of the road.
Right.
And right now we faced, minor injury, but still Foxy being out a few games. Trey, who is a big part of our, he's one of our grown-ups.
Right.
And Trey means a lot for the group. So not having him is also important, and all this adversity just makes us better. Yeah. So I think that's the way it should go. Not being afraid of, even when we lost games, our guys practice better than they played.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, when that happens, you believe that sooner or later we're gonna figure it out. Obviously, coach had to challenge the group, and he did, and he's amazing at that. One of the best leaders I've been around, and right now we had a positive result.
Yeah.
But it's just 10 games at this point. We have 72 more to go, and hopefully more adversity to face, which will be good for us.
I think if you ask anybody if you thought the Kings would be 6-4 to start the season, with De'Aaron missing 5 games, I think we take that, especially 2 tough losses in Houston. Now you face a San Antonio team. They're reeling a little bit. They've lost 6 in a row. What do you see about San Antonio? What kind of challenge is this tonight?
Obviously, they just drafted a very special player, right?
Yeah, I heard about that guy.
A unicorn type of player. And they're coached by, probably the best coach ever.
Yeah.
And, that should be motivation as well as, like, it's a tournament game. So we're playing for something. I think our guys are engaged. They're very competitive. And they know that what we're building here. So it's a long road trip. It's just the second game right now.
Right.
And that traveling and changing time zones and all that, it can get challenging. But, we always use like short-term goals and long-term goals. And I think that just helps, because otherwise you get lost into, a long NBA season. So, I think we'll be ready. They're a young team, like you said, a team that has lost a few in a row, and they're going to want to come back and play hard and fight. And obviously they're talented. Every single NBA player is very talented. And, for us is preparing the right way against them, but also, believing our identity, playing fast, playing physical, playing together. So I think that, it's a good challenge for us today.
Every coach I talk to, player I talk to, they know about the in-season tournament. Like they mentioned, tonight's an in-season tournament game. How important is that to you guys? Is there obviously there's focus into every game, but is there a little something extra because it's an in-season tournament game?
For sure. I think you have to embrace it. And use it in a positive way. So I don't think there should be no reason to use it in a negative way. Right. You're playing at the same time that you're playing for your record, you're also playing for a tournament with a prize. So it's it should be like it just helps us.
Yes.
And I think that also you have to explain it to the players. Then this way they can see how it works, get excited about it. And that's how all these tournaments, I grew up in Spain, and we have all these cups and everything. And obviously those have a lot of history, and they mean a lot different things. But those tournaments are very special, really cool, and excites the players, but also the fans. And I think that's what the NBA is trying to do. And I think they've done an amazing job, putting it together and explaining it. And it's not confusing at all. Like once you watch it on TV, for sure the court is telling you that you're watching the tournament. And then the competition system is very simple, the pools, and then quarterfinal, and then the Final Four is in Vegas. So it's very well put together. It's cool to be part of it.
Yeah.
And I think that it's gonna be successful and stay with us for forever.
I'm gonna let you go on this one. Victor Wembanyama. Does he keep you up at night trying to game plan against him? What makes him so special?
He's very tall. And he does things that with his length you haven't seen, you've never seen. So it's pretty cool. I think he's also trying to figure it out. There's strengths, potential, and weaknesses. Like I said before, we plan for this game like we do for every game. He's a big part of the game plan because of his capabilities, but at the same time, we gotta do our job and play our style of basketball. So, he's a shot blocker. He can handle, he can rebound and push, all that stuff. We cannot let him play free, and we just gotta get into his body and be physical and low, and try not to challenge him at the rim because it's not going to end up well for us. But no, it's obviously exciting to play against a player like this, where looking forward, you will see how he looks like right now and how he will look like in 5 years. And it happens with, like, when you watch videos of Giannis playing when he started, and you're like, look like a little kid, and now he's a grown man. So it's cool to be part of this and see all these superstars getting into the league.
All right, Coach. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Good luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Jordy Fernandez and Kyle Draper. Thanks, Drapes. Great interview. When we come right back, is it okay for sideline reporters to make stuff up? That's next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I have terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville.
At Elk Grove Honda, we make sure every certified pre-owned Honda is one we'd buy from ourselves. At Elk Grove Honda, in addition to our lower prices, we include many benefits that a private seller just can't match. Our Honda-trained technicians only certify our Hondas if they pass a thorough 182-point inspection, and our certified pre-owned Hondas are under 5 years old, so you know you're getting the newest Hondas in prime condition. See our exceptional selection of lower-priced certified pre-owned Hondas in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Just be natural. Try to roll around in it gracefully and not like a puppy.
Maria's photography studio is zooming into a flurry of projects.
Where did I put that memory card?
She needs an assistant to keep business in focus.
Hang on while I change the external flash. Oh,
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This holiday season, create a fun and joyful memory for you and your loved ones. Come light the world and help those in need through the Giving Machine in the Roseville Galleria Mall, November 16th through December 10th, and in Modesto at Valley Fair Mall, December 11th through January 2nd. Choose from local charities serving your community or from global charities worldwide. Come feel the Christmas spirit at the Giving Machine. Learn more at givingmachine.greatersacramentomodesto.org.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out, Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the moment you've been waiting for. Hanley's Kia in Davis is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg and EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride. At Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136-138.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
What a Friday it's already been. Whitey Gleason here in Sacramento. Kyle Draper in San Antonio getting ready for the in-season tournament game. Kings and the Spurs. Kyle, thank you. That was a wonderful interview with Jordy. And it's, so many interesting tidbits in there. I just think it's fascinating now anytime somebody in the league, a player coach, talks about the tournament, because as much as we talk about it as fans, the players and the coaches, they're still trying to figure it all out themselves as well.
Yeah, but it was interesting. Like, and I said it during the interview, and I don't know if it's an NBA mandate or a memo that's going around every team, but I'm telling you, like, they offer up the in-season tournament more than us media, like, they bring it up more than we do. And so I don't know if it's a huge talking point for the league, but, one thing we've seen so far, in the few days that we've had in-season tournament games around the league, there seems to be a little something extra. I don't know whether it's more of a competitive fire, closer games. Guys are having bad days in terms of, their energy, and they get upset and take it out on the opponent. Like, there's been some spice so far, these the in-season tournament games.
Yeah, so far I think the league has to be thrilled with the way it's gone. As far as what else is going on today, Joe Burrow out for the year, ligament damage in his wrist. Steve Kerr, how about this? Steve Kerr coming out and saying, yes, Draymond went too far Tuesday night. The Warriors, are they finally standing up to Draymond Green, Drapes? This is incredible.
No, I think Adam Silver might have called Steve up. It's like, Steve, come on, bro. Come on. What are you doing here? I mean, Steve's a day late and $1 short, man. Where was this after the game? It was so obvious and so clear. And I get wanting to back your player, but don't come at me 48 hours later and saying, oh, my bad, he went too far. A little too late, Steve Kerr.
Too much, too little, too late. We also have this very interesting story today. It's also interesting because it involves Fox personnel, so ESPN is going nowhere near this. But the Carissa Thompson story, long story short, as you probably know by now, Carissa Thompson, who works on the Amazon broadcast and also Fox, she said this week, I've said this before, so I haven't been fired for saying it, so I'll say it again. I would make up the report sometimes because the coach wouldn't come out at halftime or it was too late and I didn't want to screw up the report. So I was like, I'm just going to make this up. That, of course, caused a firestorm of controversy. A lot of sideline reporters saying this is terrible. This casts so many doubts on what we do, and already people don't take us seriously. Today, she walked it back a little bit, saying, working in media, I understand how important words are. I chose the wrong words to describe the situation. I'm sorry. I have never lied about anything or been unethical during my time as a sports broadcaster, end quote. You're a sports broadcaster. What do you think of this whole mess?
Well, first of all, let's start with the apology or the clarification or whatever it was that she came out with today. In the initial statements that she made on the podcast, she said, I haven't got fired for this yet. Like, she knew obviously what she was saying and what she had done was probably unethical.
Right.
She knew that. Why would you get fired if you didn't,
You're right.
Right. And so that's where I have an issue with her comments today. Secondly, the sideline reporter job, and I served as sideline reporter for a while for the Boston Celtics. It is not a glamorous job. It is probably the most thankless job, Whitey, when it comes to broadcasting that there is. And let me tell you why. Any good sideline reporter knows you will do so much preparation. For instance, let's say in the NBA, you got a 15-man roster, let's say. Each game, trust me, I'm going to have a story about 10 of them. but you're only going to use a story probably about 2 of them. So you spend all this time preparing, all this time making sure you got your notes right, you have your quotes right, and you probably use 5% of what you actually get. And then you're only on for a couple of seconds at a time. And so what Carissa Thompson did is a shot to sideline reporters everywhere.
Yes.
And here's where the problem comes in, Whitey. We have an issue in our country now of distrust of the media.
Yep.
And what she did and what she said leads to only more distrust.
She fueled those who will say, oh, they're making everything up. She gave them fuel. Yeah.
And it's just not about the sideline reporters. It's about our news anchor, our journalists, our regular reporters, whatever it is. There's a distrust in our country of media in general right now, and she's giving it more ammunition.
I know. And I would also suggest that I know we've made strides here, but I think there's also a bias against women as sports reporters. And, this for those who say, oh, that, they don't know what they're doing. Oh, see, they make stuff up. Doesn't help. I could understand why so many sideline reporters, especially women sideline reporters, were just outraged by this. And bottom line on this, Kyle, if you really examine what she initially said, she basically was saying, sometimes I would make stuff up because the job was too hard. That's what she was saying.
Right. Ouch. Right. Because you know what? And how many times have we seen sideline reporters running after a coach on the side? Like, if the coach doesn't stop and talk to you, I tell you what, as a sideline reporter, you better get somebody to talk to you, or don't frame it as you talk to the coach.
Yes.
Yes. You can frame it a different way when presenting it. And for her to come out and say, admit that she would make quotes up from the coaches, that's the lowest of low in our business, making things up like that.
This is a bad walk back, but she's going to get away with it. And I know Erin Andrews was also caught in this net, because this is not the first time Carissa Thompson has talked about this. The first time she did was on a podcast that she and Erin Andrews do. And Erin Andrews said, oh, I've done that too. If coaches give me information, if they're giving me the wrong information. So, but that there's no way Fox is going to let this affect Erin Andrews at all. I don't know. The thing is, Carissa Thompson, should she be fired? I don't care. She's just done too much damage as it is already to those hardworking sideline reporters who are having a hard time as it is gaining credibility. And then one of their own tears them down. It's really sad.
And you've had the people come out and say, oh, we don't learn anything from the sideline reporters anyway. That position is useless. That's their opinion. But regarding Carissa Thompson and Fox, they might not fire her because she lied, but her credibility now, like anytime she talks, the only thing I'm going to think about and remember is her saying that she once lied. And so it may not be the act, but now that it's out there, the level of distrust for her has to be high right now.
It was just very dumb. Very, in basketball, sometimes a guy turns the ball over. That was avoidable. This was a very, very avoidable mistake, right? I mean, it really was. And a bad one and a big one. All right. We'll take a quick timeout. Great to get your takes on that, Drapes. Really appreciate that. You being a TV journalist, sports journalist. When we come back by the Kings, we'll be facing some angry young men tonight in San Antonio when the Drive Guys continue on Sactown Sports.
Debo 10, Debo 5, Debo, touchdown! San Francisco!
That's the 49ers team we all know and love.
Bosa's got another sack.
San Francisco got back on track and looks to keep things rolling Sunday at home versus Tampa Bay.
Birding under center, a 5-step drop. Now going to pump and throw down the sideline. Kittle! He's got it and he's gone!
It's the 49ers and Buccaneers Sunday at 1 on Sactown Sports.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Just be natural. Try to roll around in it gracefully and not like a puppy.
Maria's photography studio is zooming into a flurry of projects.
Where did I put that memory card?
She needs an assistant to keep business in focus.
Hang on while I change the external flash. Oh,
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I always approach the holidays with a sense of excitement and a time to be with family. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa for Naturewood Home Furnishings. For me, the best times were when there were 3 generations all celebrating together. Today, we're the grandparents, and the holiday spotlight shines on my grandson. And I hope he'll remember holidays the way his papa does. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create your own kind of holiday memories during their holiday home sale. Unique gifts found only at Naturewood, like hall trees, curios, chairside tables, and more, are available at savings of 20% off. During Naturewood's holiday home sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale, going on right now. The memories you make with your family will live with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Gobble, gobble, folks. It's that time of year again when the leaves fall, and so do the prices at Elk Grove Kia. We're bringing you Thanksgiving early with deals that'll make your wallet say thanks. This fall, our lot is stuffed with the latest Kia models, and we've carved out incredible savings. Get your hands on a brand new Kia with Elk Grove Kia's award-winning reliability and service you can trust, unlike your auntie's dodgy broccoli casserole. Don't wait until the turkey's on the table. Come to Elk Grove Kia and feast on the best deals this fall. And don't worry if you have challenged credit. Our finance team has over 100 years of experience. They may or may not have even helped a pilgrim or two get qualified. So hurry on down to Elk Grove Kia, where the prices are falling faster than Uncle Bob falls asleep in front of the football game at Thanksgiving. It's the Thanksgiving sale going on now at Elk Grove Kia, located in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. Or check us out online at elkgrovekia.com. Elk Grove Kia, where the only thing bigger than our savings is our gratitude for our amazing customers.
Elk Grove Kia. Hello, I'm Frank Hockwood, Retirement Security Center for the Weekly Economic Update. The Consumer Price Index, referred to as the CPI, increased 3.2% over the past 12 months, a reduction from the 3.7% measure the previous month. While this is still higher than the Federal Reserve target of 2%, it is moving in the right direction. While many economic sectors are going down, sporting event costs and motor vehicle insurance were up 25.1% and 19.2% respectively. Residential rent is still a driver of higher costs as well, increasing 7.2%. Wholesale prices fell, as did retail sales, showing continued softening of the economy, which could lead the Federal Reserve to keep rates steady for now. The Dow Jones Industrial Average just experienced a death cross, which is considered a signal of potential market downturn. A death cross is when the shorter-term moving average of stock prices, usually 50 days, drops below a longer-term measure, typically 200 days. This is the first such crossing since March of 2022. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Frank Cockrell is a registered representative of Lincoln Financial Advisors Corporation, a broker-dealer member SIPC and registered investment advisor. Retirement Security Centers is not an affiliate of Lincoln Financial Advisors.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Woo! Well, final segment. Been quite a show, Kyle. We've been, I think we've just done just about all we can do today. Still got a little pizza left in the box. And I know
I'm gassed, man. I'm gassed.
I know. You're just getting warmed up, though.
Yeah, exactly. Excited to do the call, man. Get to see Victor Wembanyama up close and personal.
Yeah, people complaining on the chat. You guys are almost, you just got there. Show's almost over. What can we do? Complain to Commissioner Silver and the schedule makers. But make sure you check out Kyle, of course, NBC Sports California, and make sure you check out the G-Man here with play-by-play on Sactown Sports. Speaking of being tired, Kyle, as I look at the schedule, it's the NBA. It is what it is, of course, but the Kings going to be a little busy here on this trip over the next few days.
Yeah, and what's interesting, so you got tonight's game. You fly tonight right after the game to get to Dallas. That's Sunday, Monday, back-to-back. Dallas, New Orleans. That's going to be a tough one for the Kings. And then you got Wednesday against New Orleans and then Friday in Minnesota. And I don't know if anybody's checked the forecast in Minnesota. I did, Whitey, as I was packing to come out right before I left. It's supposed to be 23 degrees in Minnesota the day after Thanksgiving. And so I'm like, man, I think I'm going to stay in that whole trip, when we're out there.
Yeah, well, they have all the tunnels and everything, right? So you don't have to go outside. So
what fun is that, though?
I don't know.
I'm going to be cooped up, and it's Thanksgiving, so I'm going to watch some football. We're going to eat some turkey. It'll be okay, but no, there's no venturing out. I brought my golf clubs, too, and I was hoping to get some out in Minnesota, but then I looked, and so that's not happening. That's not happening.
Hitting snowballs. So you're going to be the life of an NBA broadcaster. You're kind of on your own on Thanksgiving?
They do a team dinner. Yeah, it'll be a team dinner. So everybody will get together, the whole team. We'll have a ballroom set up, catered and everything.
Nice.
They'll have TV set up with the football games, and so we'll sort of hang out as a group.
And watch the Niners crush the Seahawks.
Ooh. That should be a drop right there. We should use that all week long and watch the Niners crush the Seahawks.
Are you at all concerned, obviously focusing on the Kings and the NBA, you'd all concerned about Monday night and Monday Night Football?
Who, me?
Because you should be.
No, it's time for payback, right? It's time for a little get back. We should have won the Super Bowl, and so we're going to make them feel the pain this week on Monday night. I'm not worried at all.
All right, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Yeah, looking forward to that game. Looking forward to that game. Hey, what can you tell us here? I know everything is going well for the Kings right now. Don't mean to be negative, but a lot of people are wondering about, hey, what's Davion's situation right now? Any idea when he might find his way back into the rotation or why he's not
at all
currently
Well, what's interesting about Davion, if you look at the numbers, sure, he didn't play last game against the Lakers, but it wasn't like Keon Ellis just stole his minutes. Keon Ellis only played 9 minutes. And so Mike Brown, De'Aaron Fox played 38 minutes. Obviously a big game, rivalry, that kind of thing. But it wasn't like Keon's, been doing, 20 minutes a night or anything like that. And so what I'm seeing is that backup point guard position might not be as important as we thought of. If you're going to play De'Aaron Fox 38 minutes, you could run Malik Monk as that backup point. And so I don't know when we'll see Davion back in. Look, maybe on the second night of that back-to-back, maybe you don't play De'Aaron Fox on Monday in that second night of a back-to-back, so maybe we'll see Davion. But what I saw the other night against the Lakers, it was De'Aaron Fox's show. Like, he was out there the majority of the minutes.
By the way, I thought that was one of the real positives for the Kings. Malik didn't have a great offensive night, and they just rolled offensively. That's a real good sign.
Yeah, shooting 50% and knock it down to three-pointers as well. And when Kevin Huerter is playing the way he's playing, and we've talked about it, I think Keegan and Kevin Huerter, they are the two guys that really can take this team to a different level. When one of those two are playing at an elite level, we know what we're going to get from Fox and Sabonis. This Kings team, it may be better than last year if these guys keep firing like they've been doing these last few games.
By the way, neither here nor there, but speaking of the Kings' depth, I mean, Colby Jones, who's been in Stockton, he's playing really well in the G League right now.
Yes, and what do you do with him if you're Mike Brown? I think, eventually you got to give him some looks up here with the big club, because he's already proven to be dominant on the G League level. And, there's just a log jam at those minutes. And, I don't want to get too much into the trade deadline or anything like that.
Plenty of time for that.
I know. But if you're Monty McNair, you got some assets, some pieces. You got some things you can do with this roster because you have depth at certain positions.
Yeah, and obviously the main thing with Colby Jones is he's just got to play right now. So, yeah, and he's getting a run in Stockton, and he's playing really well. So what would you give us as far as your single biggest key for tonight? Kyle, job one for the Kings against the Spurs tonight. What do you got?
That's a great question because this San Antonio team is bad offensively, not good defensively. I would say it has to more so do with what you're doing. And so I say just keep playing your game.
Yeah, make shots again, right? Make shots.
Make the shots, exactly, like we've seen the last few games.
Yeah, get out and run, too, against a team that likes to run.
And
they don't do
like
anything.
The Spurs, Whitey, and you notice, they don't do anything that actually scares me. Like there's nothing that jumps off the sheet that says, uh-oh, man, you got to guard. You can't let they're not that good of a team. At least the numbers don't indicate that. So you have to sort of manufacture that energy yourself and play your game.
Yeah, this is a real test for the Spurs because Pop just called them out. So we'll see what kind of juice they bring to the early moments of this game. But there's every opportunity here for the Kings to keep it rolling tonight, keep that beam lit. Yeah. Kyle, thanks. Great show. We will talk to you Monday. Have a great call tonight.
All right, my man. Yeah. See you guys Monday.
And in-season tournament edition of Game Night is next right here on Sactown Sports.
Two rivals, one goal. It's our region's biggest college football game.
Saturday at noon, UC Davis and Sacramento State battle in the 69th Annual Causeway Classic.
So